With Jaron Ennis being named the new IBF champion, Terence Crawford will have to face him to get his belt back, but pros are warning him about taking the fight. Lawrence Smalls is Jaron's trainer, and he thinks that the belt is in the right hands now that Ennis has it. Smalls stated, "It's a long time coming. It's time to bring back the real. It's time to bring back old school boxing. It's in the right hands now, and he's going to do what he needs to do. Ain't no running, ain't no ducking, ain't no hiding. He's waiting for all the smoke, and everybody knows that." Tim Bradley didn't think that Jaron was anywhere near ready for someone like Crawford, though. Tim stated, "You kidding me right now? I respect Ennis. Listen, I respect Ennis. I love his pops. His pops is cool. His whole crew is tight. But who the hell has Boots fought? You can be riding that wave. You've been getting the knockouts of all these other different guys, but you've never been in the ring with an animal like Crawford. And when you get in there, you get hit upside your head, and you see you can't do the stuff that you usually do against the guys that you fought at the lower level. Bro, I would hate for him to get into that type of fight with Crawford. I would hate for him to get in this fight and look average. Because if you go back and you watch a lot of, and he's a spectacular fighter, Boots is a spectacular fighter. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Boots. I think he's next, but he needs to be tested. Everyone is questioning whether Boots really is ready for Terence or if he needs some more fights under his belt first.
You have spent some time in Philly. You've worked with Bozy. You've worked alongside Boots. You saw the Spence. You saw the Crawford fight. Do you believe because Boots has talked a lot about it? I know the sanctioning bodies have made him the mandatory now for Bud Crawford. Do you believe Boots Ennis is ready for Terence Bud Crawford?
For a fight, yes. Just because I know where his skill level's at. And it's about skill in there. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about who's the biggest puncher. Sometimes it's about just, having the skill and the ring generalship in there. So I do think he's ready to step in there with the best of the best. It's just a matter of time and when they'll give him a shot.
Steven Nelson didn't think that Jaron had enough of a following to be fighting someone like Terence. Steven stated, "Boots is a young, talented kid, but he doesn't have the experience and the following to talk on Bud's level. People are like, he's ducking. You're talking about a guy that fights for a living that has been fighting since he was 7. Crawford's accomplished everything up and down the ranks, is scared to fight an up-and-coming fighter. At this point, it's about business. That's why an Errol Spence rematch is not profitable. Bud is not fighting about legacy anymore. He already did that. Now it's about the bag. What is Boots going to bring to the table to be like, okay, this is going to be? Is this going to please people who are doubting Bud again, who jumped from Spence and now they're using Boots? So is it worth it? If that fight doesn't come forth, what are you gonna do?" Leonard Ellerby really wants to see the two of them fight though, and he stated, "That's a 50-50 fight. Terence Crawford, as a fan, I want to see him fight Boots. That's the fight I want to see. I want to see that fight. Everybody deserves an opportunity. Terence had to be given an opportunity. If EJ didn't step up and say X, Y, and Z, that fight wouldn't have happened. A lot of things that are going on right now wouldn't be going on right now. Boots already would have fought an elite guy if he was with Mayweather Promotions. Boots would be one of the most talked about fighters like Gervonta Davis in the sport. Bozy Ennis knows that people won't be able to duck Jaron if they want the belt now, and he's excited for some unification fights.
Feeling good, but I already knew about that from the get-go. But I was waiting for them to put it out so they can know for sure that that is sure enough.
Now, you've been having trouble getting fights,
right?
Historically, for like the last 2 to 3 years. Do you think now that you are world champion and that it will be unification bouts with the other champions that you'll be able to get them in the ring?
Oh yeah, now if they want to fight for the title, they got to get in the ring now. You know what I mean? Or they gonna move up. I don't know what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? But if everybody tell me they want to fight for a title now, it's the time to fight for the title. We got the title now, so you got to fight us now.
Richardson Hitchens compared the two fighters recently, and he stated, "We fought. Me and Boots fought in the amateurs, and we sparred in the Olympic Training Center. I think Boots has a lot in his arsenal. He's definitely super skillful, but I think Terence is a smarter fighter. Terence will make the better decisions. Boots has always been a fighter since he was an amateur, where if you're not on his level, he's going to show out. In tournaments, Boots straight clowns guys, like clowns. The only fight where I saw Boots have to think and use his mind, I'm not trying to be funny. The only time I saw Boots have to use his mind was a fight with me and a fight with Gary Russell. Terence has a real skill set, and Terence is throwing the same that Boots is throwing at that same speed, accuracy, timing, and power. That same coming right back at Boots. You gotta see how Boots is going to take that also. Right now, I feel like Terence is the better man in that fight. Danny Garcia believed that Jaron could have been the one to dethrone Terence if he had gotten a shot. Danny stated, "Definitely, Ennis can beat Crawford. He's got all the tools and he's got the work ethic for sure. Right now, for him, it's just about timing because he's ready. I always tell people he's like a young, hungry lion sitting on the side of the road, waiting for somebody to slip up. His time is real soon though, and once his time comes, he's going to be at the top for a long time." Shakur Stevenson doesn't want Terence to fight Jaron Ennis, and he stated, "Boots hasn't really got the opportunity to prove himself yet. I think right now Boots should fight Keith Thurman. He'll beat the out of Keith Thurman. Boots is a bad when it comes down to it, but is at the end of his career. He should be focused on the big fights, the fights that are going to bring him the most money as far as Canelo and Charlo." Brian Norman Sr. actually thought that the fight would be pretty even after seeing how Terence fought against Errol Spence.
I was seeing Spence always, man, there was no doubt in my mind Spence was going to wipe him out, even wipe the floor with him. I thought it was going to be a one-sided ass whooping. I was with Spence, you know what I'm saying? But I had no idea Crawford was going to come out doing the masterful performance that he did, and he showed he the best fighter in the world today. You know what I'm saying? With the exception of even even a person like Boots. You know what I'm saying? Which is out for whatever he would have to prove it now. You know what I'm saying? Because Crawford showed he can adjust to certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have had before Spence fought, I would have had Boots wiping his out. I would have had Spence wiping his out. You feel what I'm saying? I think still Bud. Yeah. No, but no. Wiping. Yeah, Spence wiping Bud out, and I would have had Boots wiping the floor with his ass. I'd have had both of them wiping them out, and I thought the tough fight would have been between Bud and Boots. That's what would have been 50 for the fight. You know. Bud and Spence. But now Boots and Spence. I thought would have been a 50-50 fight. I wouldn't have picked to win in that one at all. But now I would have to say on the Crawford fight, because of the way he adjusts, there's no telling, man. There's no telling. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause Boots got a lot of shit in his arsenal, right? But so does Crawford. So being that the fact that both of them have a lot of in arsenal, I think that Boots makes it a Pee-wee playhouse when the when he senses that the person is lesser. When he senses the opponent is lesser of a fighter, he gonna show out on you. He gonna make a spectacle.
Cameron Duncan really thinks that Boots is just too big for Crawford though. Duncan stated, "I believe Boots is too big for Crawford, and I would expect him to win." Kell Brook likes what he sees in Jaron Ennis, and he really thought that he would be the one to surpass Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Kell stated, "He is looking good, so good that he could be the one to succeed Spence and Crawford. He has great ability, punching power, and like these guys, massive boxing IQ. I put him up there in the elite, among the best in the world. We don't know for certain how good he can be until he gets in there with someone better or equal to himself, and we see how he responds, how he takes a shot and deals with pressure on a big stage. That's when we know when a fighter has a real X factor, when they can tie in all those qualities with the ability to do it on that highest level." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.